Morning's installment of our series, A More Perfect Union, examines an unexpected but powerful friendship. We're looking at unique connections to highlight how Americans have more in common than recent headlines might suggest. Steve Hartman shows us how an 82-year-old widower was touched by an innocent question in the canned food aisle of a grocery store when he needed it most.
Not long ago, in a cemetery outside Augusta, Georgia, a loving couple was buried. The wife buried below this white bouquet. The husband buried above, in a mound of grief.
Took me totally by surprise.
82-year-old Dan Peterson says after Mary died, he fell into a deep depression. Spent days just staring out at the squirrels.
What were you living for?
I was trying to figure that out, frankly.
You had no purpose?
No.
Were you just waiting to die?
Yeah.
For 6 months, it was just that bad.
And then one day you go to a grocery store.
It all changed inside this Publix.
Dan was nearing the end of the canned vegetable aisle. He hates grocery shopping, and by all accounts, the expression on his face confirmed his aggravation. But that's when this unapproachable man was approached by a 4-year-old girl named Nora Wood.
In the security footage, you can see Nora randomly reaching out to him. Her mom, Tara, says it was quite embarrassing.
She stood up and said, "Hi, old person, it's my birthday today."
Old person?
Old person.
Hi, old person.
She says this to this cranky old man?
Yeah.
And then had the audacity to demand a hug.
I said, a hug? I said, absolutely.
Nora got her hug and then asked her mom to take a picture of her with her new friend.
She zeroed in on him like a missile. And she didn't want anything from him. She just wanted to make him feel loved and give him a hug. And his little lip quivered and he was teared up, and it was just sweet.
And I said, you don't know. This is the first time for quite a while that I've been as happy.
That all happened a couple months ago, and his grin has only gotten wider since.
Hi, sweetheart, come in, come in.
Today, Nora visits at least once a week.
So how's my sweetie, huh?
And every time, it's the grocery store all over again.
I knew I was going to get a hug. Oh, it's unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
It's a bridge.
It's a bridge. Oh, okay.
Dan does have grandkids of his own, but they're all grown and gone. And Nora does have grandparents, but her mom says this is a completely different kind of bond that almost defies explanation.
She fell asleep holding a picture of them. What?
To Dan, it's equally miraculous, but far less mysterious. He believes Nora is quite literally an angel.
She opened me to a love that I didn't know existed.
Dan, let me ask you. When your wife died, you felt like you didn't have any purpose anymore. Do you feel like you have a purpose now?
Of course. Nora. Watching her grow up. I know I made room in my heart for a lot more.
Steve Hartman joins us now.
Oh my God, Steve.
Wow.
Jeez.
What do you think? What do you attribute this bond to?
I don't know. Nora is not one of these kids that goes out and talks to everybody she meets. This was a one-time thing, just reaching out to some random stranger in a grocery store. So this really defies explanation.
But she saw something in him when she
Yeah.
goes up and says, old person, of all the people in the grocery store. She saw something.
It was senior day there. There were lots of old persons
Yeah, but
there.
she walked up to him.
Yes.
So how does Dan describe the bond? How does he explain it? How does he
Dan
explain
thinks that there's God at work here.
Yeah, I do too.
To be blunt.
I do too.
But he also he has a message here. He thinks there's lots of other lonely old persons out there.
Yeah.
And lots of preschoolers with hugs aplenty. And he'd like to see more of them come together.
You know, Steve.
I love everything
Yeah,
Steve does.
yeah.
Everything you do. But you said this was your favorite story.
This is
because?
Because anytime you get different generations falling in love with each other,
Yeah.
That gets me.
In a word, what has he added to her life?
I don't know, because she's a little bit hard to talk to. She's 4. I couldn't really do an interview with her. Yeah. But all I recognize is just that I was there for about an hour, and there were about at least 5 or 6 hugs. Yeah. So she's found something that goes beyond even a grandparent thing.
And I love her mother encouraging it too. I love that she gets to go see him once a week.
Yeah, beautiful stories.
Really, really nice.
Thank you.
Need another box of tissues with you, Mr. Hartman.